The evening air was crisp, carrying the scent of early autumn leaves and a distant promise of rain. I stood alone in the softly illuminated bathroom, my hands trembling as I gripped the plastic pregnancy test. My heart thundered against my ribs and anxiety twisted my stomach into tight knots. I closed my eyes, inhaling deeply, summoning strength and courage to face whatever awaited me. As I slowly opened my eyes, the screen clearly displayed one powerful word that altered the trajectory of my life forever: pregnant. In an instant, joy flooded my senses, intense and breathtaking, accompanied immediately by waves of uncertainty and fear. Yet beneath it all was an unyielding love for the tiny life already growing inside me. It was surreal to feel such profound affection for someone I had not yet met, someone who had only existed in my dreams and quiet hopes. As the excitement settled, reality cast a shadow over my bliss. My mind raced, apprehension seizing me as I imagined Nathan's reaction. Nathan, the man who had once been my everything, my anchor and my home. Recently, though, he'd grown distant, aloof and withdrawn, leaving me feeling isolated in a relationship that was rapidly slipping away. I wondered if the news of our impending parenthood might rekindle the warmth and closeness we once shared. Gathering my courage, I carefully placed the test back into its box and stepped out of the bathroom. The silence of our apartment felt heavier tonight, pressing down on me as I moved through the dimly lit hallway towards our shared bedroom. Nathan sat at the edge of the bed, illuminated faintly by the soft glow of his phone screen, his expression unreadable in the pale blue light. "Nathan," I started gently, my voice barely more than a whisper, betraying my nervousness. He looked up, eyebrows furrowed in mild irritation. "What's up?" he replied tersely, his tone devoid of warmth. My stomach twisted sharply, but I pressed onward. "I need to talk to you about something important." He sighed deeply, setting down his phone and folding his arms impatiently. "All right, I'm listening." The weight of his gaze felt oppressive, amplifying my unease. Swallowing hard, I held out the pregnancy test, offering him a small, hopeful smile. "I'm pregnant," I announced softly, eyes searching desperately for a glimpse of happiness, warmth, or at least acceptance in his face. Nathan took the test from my hand without speaking, his face hardening into a mask of skepticism. My heart sank slowly as he stared at the screen, his silence stretching uncomfortably into a heavy, oppressive void. "Is this some kind of joke?" he finally asked, his voice cold and sharp, slicing through me like a blade. "No," I whispered, my voice quivering as confusion flooded my thoughts. "Nathan, why would I joke about something like this?" He looked up, his eyes narrowing, suspicion flashing dangerously in them. "I don't know, maybe attention? It wouldn't be the first time you've exaggerated something." His words felt like physical blows, each accusation landing heavily, bruising deeper than any injury could. "Nathan, I'm serious. This isn't something I'd make up," I insisted, desperation creeping into my voice. He stood abruptly, thrusting the test back at me with harsh force. "Well, I'm sorry, but I don't believe you," he snapped. "You've been so needy lately, who knows what you're capable of." Shock rooted me to the spot, my mind spinning, unable to comprehend the cruelty of his response. "Nathan, please," I pleaded softly, tears brimming rapidly, blurring my vision. "Can't we talk about this calmly?" "No," he interrupted coldly, turning his back and pacing away from me. "There's nothing more to talk about." The echo of his dismissive footsteps resonated through me, breaking apart pieces of my heart with every heavy step. Alone, I stood in the darkness, clutching the pregnancy test to my chest, a bitter mixture of sorrow and disbelief flooding me. In that instant, my world shattered, unraveling faster than I could hold it together. Days following the confrontation blurred together, painted in muted shades of sadness and confusion. Nathan remained distant and withdrawn, treating me with thinly veiled hostility. Our apartment, once filled with laughter and warmth, became a prison of tension and resentment. My once vibrant relationship unraveled rapidly, becoming nothing more than an empty shell, a painful reminder of the love we had lost. The isolation I felt deepened daily, exacerbated by Nathan's increasingly overt public skepticism. He began subtly sharing his doubts with mutual friends, planting seeds of suspicion and mistrust. Soon, whispers followed me, conversations silencing abruptly whenever I approached. The isolation felt overwhelming, amplifying my loneliness and helplessness. One evening at a gathering of mutual friends, I stood silently, anxiously scanning faces for a friendly, comforting expression. Nathan, emboldened by alcohol and the supportive audience he had cultivated, openly ridiculed my pregnancy announcement, his laughter harsh, merciless, and cruel. "Can you believe she thinks anyone would buy her lies?" he mocked, eyes glittering darkly with contempt. His audience laughed awkwardly, some genuinely amused, others uncomfortable yet unwilling to contradict him. Shame washed over me, an overwhelming wave drowning me in humiliation. I shrank away, retreating into myself, desperate to escape his cruelty. Nathan's betrayal had reached its climax, inflicting psychological wounds far deeper and more damaging than I had imagined possible. That night, shattered and drained from relentless emotional torment, clarity surfaced amidst my profound despair. The painful realization crystallized sharply. I could no longer stay, no longer endure Nathan's cruelty nor tolerate the poisonous atmosphere that enveloped us. Quietly and resolutely, I packed essential belongings, moving through our apartment like a ghost, careful to leave no evidence of my departure until dawn. My tears fell silently, each drop heavy with sorrow, loss, and regret. But amidst the grief, determination blossomed fiercely within me. Protecting my unborn child from further harm became my driving force, the singular reason propelling me forward. As the sun began rising, casting gentle golden rays through the windows, I paused at the doorway one last time, absorbing the lingering memories that filled the space. With a deep, steadying breath, I stepped forward, my heart heavy yet resolute, leaving behind the pain and betrayal to start anew, quietly carrying the child Nathan had cruelly denied, toward an uncertain yet hopeful future. The early days after leaving Nathan were a blur of uncertainty, grief, and profound loneliness. As the train carried me further away from the life I'd known, every mile seemed to stretch the emotional chasm between my past and future. I sat silently, gazing blankly through the window, watching the scenery pass by in a monotonous blur. The rhythmic clatter of wheels on rails mirrored the turmoil within me, a relentless reminder of the harsh betrayal that propelled my flight. Arriving in the unfamiliar coastal town, I stepped onto the platform, clutching my small bag of belongings tightly. The sea breeze gently brushed against my face, carrying the salty scent of ocean spray and the cries of distant gulls, a stark contrast to the stifling, toxic atmosphere I'd escaped. With tentative steps, I navigated toward a small, quaint inn that I'd found online, hoping it would offer some temporary solace as I pieced together my shattered life. Settling into my modest room, the quiet engulfed me, amplifying the weight of isolation. Nathan's cruel words replayed in an endless loop, each repetition piercing deeper, reinforcing my self-doubt. His accusations of dishonesty lingered, staining my thoughts with persistent anxiety. I spent hours alone, battling relentless waves of sadness and anxiety, haunted by questions I could never fully answer. The days slowly turned into weeks and gradually I began venturing into the town. The streets were vibrant yet comforting, lined with colorful cottages and bustling with friendly faces that offered warm, unassuming smiles. Yet beneath the surface of my fragile outward composure, a storm raged, fueled by unresolved anger and confusion from Nathan's betrayal. One morning, a notification flashed across my phone screen, bringing with it fresh pain. Social media had become a tool Nathan wielded expertly, using it to perpetuate his narrative. His latest post, dripping with passive-aggressive sarcasm, insinuated once again my supposed deceit, igniting a fierce torrent of comments from friends and strangers alike. The humiliation felt suffocating, choking me with fresh waves of despair. Determined to distract myself, I began spending more time exploring the town's scenic coastline, where the ocean's rhythmic waves offered soothing comfort. It was during these solitary walks that the gravity of my situation fully settled upon me. I carried not only my own wounds but the responsibility of another life growing within me, a tiny, innocent being whose very existence Nathan vehemently denied. A particular afternoon as I walked along the deserted shore, I saw a group of locals gathered around a bonfire, laughter and music filling the air. Curious yet hesitant, I approached slowly, drawn to their easy camaraderie. Among them was Daniel, a gentle soul whose warm smile instantly set me at ease. He introduced himself with friendly openness, his voice soothing and kind, devoid of judgment. "You're new here, aren't you?" Daniel asked gently, his eyes reflecting genuine interest rather than suspicion. I nodded shyly, offering a faint smile in return. I needed a fresh start. He nodded knowingly, sensing my hesitation. "Sometimes the hardest journeys lead to the most beautiful destinations," he said reassuringly. His words resonated deeply, offering a spark of hope in my otherwise bleak emotional landscape. Days passed and Daniel's friendship quickly became a cornerstone in my fragile new life. His kindness provided a stark contrast to Nathan's cruelty, gently unraveling the tight knots of anxiety within me. Yet even as I cautiously opened myself to new friendships, Nathan's online attacks intensified, becoming increasingly direct and vicious. One evening as Daniel and I sat together near the water's edge, my phone buzzed insistently. With a sinking feeling, I glanced down to see a flood of messages from mutual acquaintances, forwarding screenshots of Nathan's latest post. A scathing, explicitly cruel accusation branding me a manipulative liar. The world around me blurred, my vision clouded by hot tears, my breath hitching painfully in my chest. Daniel noticed immediately, his gentle hand resting reassuringly on my shoulder. "What's wrong?" he asked softly, concern etched deeply into his features. I handed him my phone wordlessly, humiliation burning my cheeks. Daniel read silently, his expression darkening with protective anger. "You don't deserve this," he finally murmured, his voice firm yet tender. "Maybe he's right," I whispered, my voice breaking with emotional exhaustion. "Maybe I'm just fooling myself thinking I can rebuild anything from this mess." Daniel shook his head fiercely, gently but firmly taking my hands in his. "Don't let his cruelty define you. You're stronger than he will ever understand." His words broke through the fog of self-doubt, igniting a small flame of courage within me. Daniel's belief in me became a lifeline, pulling me from the edge of despair, anchoring me in a newfound strength. In the days that followed, Daniel stood resolutely by my side, defending me openly in the face of Nathan's relentless cruelty. Yet the emotional turmoil took its toll, pushing me towards a breaking point. One afternoon an unexpected visitor arrived. One of Nathan's closest friends attempting to mediate, carrying with him Nathan's insincere apologies and half-hearted explanations. "He says he's sorry," the friend stated awkwardly, visibly uncomfortable. "He wants to move past this." Anger surged fiercely within me, mixed with profound disbelief. "Move past this?" I echoed bitterly, my voice trembling with fury and hurt. "Nathan publicly humiliated me, denied our child, and destroyed every shred of dignity I had." The visitor winced at my harsh truth but pressed on. "He realizes his mistakes now." I shook my head defiantly, my voice quiet yet resolute. "It's too late. Tell him he's lost any right to be part of my life, and especially this child's life." After he left, exhaustion overwhelmed me, but clarity surfaced amidst the pain. I understood clearly now. The conflict with Nathan was beyond repair, permanently severed by his cruelty. Yet from this turmoil emerged undeniable strength, forged through the relentless fire of betrayal and humiliation. As the sun dipped low on the horizon, painting the sky in vibrant hues of pink and gold, I walked again to the shore where Daniel waited patiently. Without words, he offered a comforting embrace, understanding my silent struggle. "Thank you," I whispered softly into his shoulder, tears soaking gently into his shirt. "For what?" he asked tenderly, his arms tightening protectively around me. "For reminding me that I'm not defined by someone else's cruelty," I answered earnestly, feeling strength slowly return to my voice. Daniel smiled softly, brushing hair gently from my face. "You're stronger than you think. And you're not alone anymore." That evening marked a pivotal turning point. Though Nathan's betrayal had reached its devastating climax, his cruelty inadvertently led me to a path of profound self-awareness and resilience. Surrounded by Daniel's unwavering support and the genuine kindness of newfound friends, I began seeing glimpses of hope and possibility within my pain. Standing at the ocean's edge, watching waves break softly against the shore, I realized that Nathan's betrayal, while deeply wounding, had unintentionally freed me. It shattered illusions, forcing me to face difficult truths, yet it simultaneously opened a doorway to genuine healing and authenticity. And as night fell, stars illuminating the dark expanse above, I felt a cautious yet unmistakable sense of empowerment. A silent promise that despite the devastation behind me, brighter, more meaningful chapters were waiting ahead. As the days following Nathan's ultimate betrayal unfolded, my emotional wounds deepened. Each morning, waking up felt like confronting a relentless storm. Each night, sleep was a fleeting escape from harsh memories that haunted me relentlessly. Yet amidst this turmoil, a quiet resilience began to take root, sparked by the growing life within me and nurtured by Daniel's steady support and friendship. My immediate response after the devastating confrontation was to isolate, to shield myself from further hurt. The inn became a sanctuary, its small, cozy room my haven from the outside world's judgments and Nathan's toxic accusations. Yet even within these protective walls, I battled internal storms of self-doubt and anguish, reliving Nathan's harshest moments repeatedly in my mind. One rainy afternoon, as droplets pattered gently against the window, I sat alone on the edge of the bed, gazing blankly into space. The room's silence was thick, punctuated only by the rhythmic tapping of rain. I absent-mindedly traced my fingers over my stomach, now softly rounded, evidence of the tiny, growing life within. Warm tears slipped silently down my cheeks, but unlike before, these tears felt different. They were cathartic, releasing pent-up anguish and marking a subtle shift toward acceptance and strength. A gentle knock at the door interrupted my solitude. Opening it, I found Daniel standing there, concern etched into his features, holding a warm cup of tea. His thoughtful gestures had become familiar comforts, his presence a balm to my aching heart. "Thought you might need some company," he offered softly, stepping inside as I moved aside wordlessly. Settling into a chair, he handed me the steaming cup, its warmth seeping into my cold hands. I sipped slowly, comforted by his quiet companionship. Daniel never pressed for conversation. His presence alone spoke volumes, a gentle assurance of support without judgment. After a long silence, I finally spoke, voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know if I can ever fully heal from this." Daniel met my eyes steadily, understanding reflected deeply in his gaze. "Healing doesn't mean forgetting or erasing the pain. It means finding peace despite it. You're stronger every day even if you don't see it." His words resonated deeply, echoing quietly through my thoughts. In that moment, I began to see the first glimmers of hope, understanding that healing would be gradual yet achievable, facilitated by vulnerability and acceptance. In the subsequent weeks, my response to the trauma shifted noticeably. I ventured out more frequently, often accompanied by Daniel or exploring alone along quiet beaches and quaint streets, finding solace in nature's serenity. Each day felt like reclaiming a piece of myself that Nathan had tried so desperately to erase. One crisp morning, while walking alone along the shore, sunlight filtering through clouds to dance on the waves, I felt my baby kick for the first time. A fluttering sensation, delicate yet powerful. Overwhelmed, I paused, pressing a gentle hand to my belly, tears springing to my eyes, not from sadness but profound joy. This tiny, innocent life within me was thriving despite the chaos surrounding it, a silent testament to resilience and hope. Later that afternoon, sharing the moment with Daniel, his genuine happiness amplified my own. "You see, you're building something beautiful even in the darkest moments," he reminded me gently, his voice steady and reassuring. His presence and support became increasingly meaningful, guiding my emotional responses toward healthier coping mechanisms. Together, we attended prenatal classes, bonding over shared experiences and gentle preparations for the baby's arrival. Slowly, I began trusting again, not just Daniel but myself, believing in my capacity to rebuild from ruins. Despite my burgeoning resilience, Nathan's attempts to reach out intensified, veiled beneath superficial apologies and manipulative pleas. Messages flooded my phone, each one a painful reminder of his emotional manipulation. With each attempt, my immediate emotional response fluctuated from anger to sadness, confusion to exhaustion. One evening, sitting on the porch of the inn with Daniel beside me, Nathan's relentless messages persisted, lighting up my phone incessantly. My frustration peaked, compelling me to respond decisively. Typing swiftly yet carefully, I sent one final message. "Please stop contacting me. You made your choice. Respect mine." Pressing send felt liberating, the weight of unresolved emotions lifting slightly. Daniel observed silently, his expression a mixture of concern and pride. "That took strength," he finally said, voice gentle yet firm. "You chose yourself and your child. That's powerful." I sighed softly, leaning into his comforting presence. "I never thought I'd be strong enough. Yet here you are," Daniel responded warmly, his unwavering faith bolstering my resolve. In the weeks following this decisive response, my emotional resilience deepened. Nathan's messages ceased, granting much-needed breathing space to fully focus on my own recovery and the life blossoming within me. Freed from his shadow, my emotional landscape began shifting, gradually embracing hope, courage, and a tentative openness toward future possibilities. Embracing this newfound clarity, I reached out proactively, building deeper connections within the community. Friendships blossomed effortlessly, bringing warmth and genuine companionship into my life. The innkeeper, a kind older woman named Eleanor, took particular interest in my well-being, offering maternal guidance that soothed lingering emotional wounds. One afternoon, sharing tea with Eleanor, I found myself unexpectedly opening up about my journey, the heartbreak, humiliation, and ultimate resilience. "You remind me of my younger self," Eleanor mused gently, eyes twinkling knowingly. "I've known pain like yours. But trust me, it shapes us, refines us, and ultimately strengthens us." Her wisdom and empathy became guiding lights, gently reinforcing Daniel's consistent message of self-worth and strength. The immediate response to Nathan's betrayal had evolved profoundly, shifting from debilitating sadness to proactive empowerment. Each step forward, however small, reinforced my inner strength, nurturing self-belief and emotional resilience. One clear evening, under a canopy of stars, Daniel and I stood quietly at the ocean's edge. The sea stretched infinitely before us, its waves whispering gentle assurances. In this moment I felt genuine peace, a feeling foreign yet profoundly welcomed. Daniel gently intertwined his fingers with mine, his touch comforting and affirming. "You've come further than you realize," he murmured softly, his voice blending seamlessly with the ocean's soothing whispers. I squeezed his hand lightly, a silent acknowledgement of my journey thus far, shaped by pain yet defined by growth. Standing there, I understood clearly that Nathan's betrayal, though painful, had set in motion a profound transformation, forcing me to confront emotional vulnerabilities, redefining my responses to trauma, and embracing newfound strength. As the waves rolled gently toward the shore, illuminated softly by moonlight, I felt a quiet certainty. A reassurance that no matter the storms behind me, the journey ahead was filled with promise, healing, and profound emotional renewal. Months passed, carrying me gradually deeper into the comforting rhythm of my new life. The wounds inflicted by Nathan's betrayal had not vanished entirely, yet each day brought subtle healing. The coastal town, with its gentle breezes and welcoming faces, provided a sanctuary that allowed me to rebuild piece by piece, crafting a new identity out of resilience, self-awareness, and cautious hope. As my pregnancy progressed, the tiny life within became my greatest source of strength and motivation. Each flutter, each gentle kick reminded me that despite past hurts, beauty and promise still flourished. Slowly, my emotional focus shifted from survival toward proactive healing and intentional growth. The friendship with Daniel continued to deepen effortlessly, built upon mutual respect and genuine care. His support never wavered, steadfast yet gentle, a constant reassurance that I wasn't navigating this journey alone. One bright afternoon, as we sat beneath a sprawling oak tree overlooking the ocean, our conversation shifted naturally toward the future. "Have you thought about names yet?" Daniel asked gently, his gaze soft with curiosity. I smiled softly, feeling a profound warmth at his genuine interest. "I have a few in mind," I replied, brushing my fingers absently over my belly. "If it's a girl, I like Emma. It feels like a name full of strength and gentleness." "It suits her," Daniel said warmly, eyes sparkling softly. "And if it's a boy?" "I was thinking about Liam," I admitted, feeling my heart swell softly with anticipation. "Strong, dependable, qualities I hope he embodies." "They're both beautiful choices," Daniel reassured quietly, his presence adding comfort and stability to my vision of the future. Building a sense of home in this town became an intentional act, one filled with nurturing friendships and meaningful rituals. Weekly gatherings at Eleanor's Inn became regular highlights, Evenings filled with laughter, shared meals, and heartfelt stories. Each moment spent among newfound friends provided further healing, reinforcing my belief in the possibility of genuine kindness and unconditional support. Despite these moments of joy, emotional setbacks occasionally resurfaced. Nathan's periodic attempts at contact continued, each message reopening partially healed wounds. However, with each encounter, my emotional response shifted noticeably from deep turmoil toward quiet resilience. One evening, during a particularly vulnerable moment, I confided my lingering struggles to Eleanor. Her wisdom became a guiding force. "Healing isn't linear, dear," she gently reminded me, her voice soft yet firm. "Setbacks don't erase your progress. They highlight how far you've come." Eleanor's words echoed profoundly, reinforcing the patience and self-compassion required in genuine healing. From that moment, setbacks became less debilitating, viewed instead as opportunities for reflection and reaffirmation of my strength and resilience. Preparations for motherhood further shaped my emotional journey, grounding me deeply in purpose and responsibility. Prenatal classes, often attended alongside Daniel, became essential milestones. Each lesson learned and shared experience strengthened not just my understanding of motherhood but my belief in my capacity to nurture and protect. Daniel's involvement gradually transitioned from supportive friendship into something deeper, yet neither of us rushed to define this new emotional landscape explicitly. Instead, we allowed our connection to naturally unfold, shaped by trust, respect, and genuine affection. One evening, walking together along the beach under a sky painted in hues of deep purple and soft pink, Daniel paused, turning gently to face me. His eyes held quiet sincerity, reflecting both uncertainty and warmth. "I care deeply about you," he began softly, voice hesitant yet earnest. "But I want you to know there's no pressure. I'm here in whatever way you need." Emotion swelled powerfully in my chest, blending gratitude, affection, and cautious hope. I reached gently for his hand, intertwining our fingers, offering silent reassurance. "You've become my greatest source of strength," I admitted softly, vulnerability coloring my voice. "You make me believe again, in myself and the possibility of happiness." Daniel smiled warmly, his relief and joy evident. "You deserve nothing less than happiness." Our relationship deepened naturally from that moment, defined by authenticity and mutual support rather than rushed declarations. Together, we navigated preparations for the baby's arrival, creating a stable, loving environment that contrasted sharply with the chaos left behind. As the due date approached, the town rallied warmly around me, offering assistance and heartfelt encouragement. The collective kindness and genuine community support further reinforced my emotional rebuilding, reminding me continually of the goodness still abundant in the world. One morning, as sunlight streamed gently through the inn's windows, I awoke feeling profound clarity and calmness. Despite past wounds, my journey had undeniably transformed me, shaping resilience and deep self-awareness. Rising slowly, I moved deliberately toward the mirror, meeting my reflection steadily. The woman who stared back was markedly different, stronger, more self-assured, and deeply compassionate. Nathan's betrayal, though undeniably painful, had forced profound transformation. My emotional scars had become testaments to resilience rather than reminders of trauma. That afternoon, Eleanor organized a small gathering in my honor, celebrating the imminent arrival of my child and acknowledging the journey that brought me here. Surrounded by smiling faces and heartfelt well wishes, I felt profoundly seen and valued. Daniel stood nearby, his supportive presence never far, watching quietly yet proudly. Later, as the gathering dispersed and evening settled gently over the town, we walked hand in hand toward our favorite spot overlooking the ocean. "This place has truly become home," I reflected quietly, emotion thickening my voice. Daniel squeezed my hand reassuringly, his gaze steady and warm. "Home is where you feel safe and loved. You created this. You built something beautiful from pain." His words resonated deeply, offering poignant acknowledgement of my journey and affirming my emotional growth. Together, standing quietly at the ocean's edge, we watched as the sun dipped slowly below the horizon, casting brilliant shades of gold and crimson across the sky. "Thank you," I finally whispered softly, leaning gently into Daniel's comforting embrace. "For what?" he asked tenderly, his voice soft against my hair. For walking this journey with me, for believing in me when I couldn't, I responded earnestly, feeling deeply grateful for his unwavering support. Daniel held me gently yet firmly, his presence comforting and protective. You never walked alone. You had strength within you all along. You just needed to find it. In that quiet moment, beneath a sky ablaze with twilight's hues, clarity settled deeply within me. Nathan's betrayal, though painful, had inadvertently set me on a journey toward profound self-discovery, resilience, and genuine love. As night softly enveloped us, stars emerging gently in the dark expanse above, I realized this journey of rebuilding had transformed not just my circumstances but my very essence. From the ashes of past heartbreak arose strength, wisdom, and unshakable hope, defining the powerful woman and loving mother I was becoming. As the weeks turned into months, life steadily moved forward in the tranquil coastal town, bringing both subtle healing and powerful emotional transformation. Each passing day diminished Nathan's painful impact, replaced increasingly by strength and clarity forged through adversity. Yet just as peace began settling comfortably into my life, a sudden wave of renewed conflict threatened the fragile stability I had carefully cultivated. One afternoon, while quietly preparing the nursery, surrounded by soft pastels and gently folded baby clothes, my phone rang unexpectedly. A familiar number flashed across the screen, triggering immediate anxiety. Nathan. My heart raced painfully, hands trembling as memories resurfaced abruptly. Taking a steadying breath, I answered reluctantly, voice cautious and guarded. "Hello. It's me," Nathan began quietly, his voice unusually subdued, layered thickly with regret. "Please don't hang up. I need to talk to you." I hesitated, torn between ending the call immediately and seeking closure I hadn't fully realized I needed. Curiosity and the desire for finality eventually won. "What do you want, Nathan?" He exhaled heavily, vulnerability evident in his voice. "I've been wrong about everything. I've hurt you deeply and I can't express how sorry I am." My heart clenched tightly, emotion thickening my throat. Despite his sincerity, a deep, abiding pain lingered, overshadowing his apologies. "Nathan, your apologies can't erase the damage you caused. You denied our child, humiliated me, and tried destroying every part of my dignity." Silence stretched painfully between us before he spoke again, voice shaking slightly. "I know and I regret every single moment. Please, I want to make things right." Emotions surged fiercely, anger, sadness, resentment. Yet clarity shone unmistakably through the turmoil. Nathan's apologies, though perhaps sincere, felt profoundly inadequate against the magnitude of his betrayal. "It's too late, Nathan," I stated firmly yet softly. "You chose your path and I've chosen mine. We can't go back. Can't we at least talk face to face?" Nathan pleaded, desperation evident in his tone. "I just need closure." After a thoughtful pause, understanding that I also required definitive closure, I reluctantly agreed. "Fine, one final conversation. But after that, I need you to respect my decision and leave us alone." The following day, Nathan arrived in town, tension thickening palpably around our brief, arranged meeting place. Daniel, protective yet understanding, waited discreetly nearby, offering quiet reassurance of support. Seeing Nathan again invoked complex, conflicted emotions, familiar yet now distant. Nathan appeared visibly changed, the confident arrogance replaced by subdued humility. "Thank you for agreeing to see me," he began gently, voice filled with cautious sincerity. "I've spent months regretting how I treated you." "Nathan," I interrupted gently but firmly, maintaining emotional boundaries. "Your actions caused deep, lasting damage. While I appreciate your apology, it doesn't erase what's happened." His eyes reflected genuine remorse, yet beneath lay a lingering expectation, hope that apology alone would suffice. "Is there nothing I can do to fix things?" I shook my head softly, voice calm yet resolute. "You can't undo the past. You publicly denied our child, humiliated me repeatedly, and shattered my trust. Those scars remain." Nathan lowered his head, shoulders slumping visibly, realization finally dawning fully. "I understand," he whispered softly, defeat coloring his tone. "I wish you well," I continued sincerely, genuine compassion blending with unyielding firmness. "But please, let this be our final conversation. Respect my decision and allow us to move forward separately." Nathan met my gaze steadily, finally accepting the finality in my words. You're right. You deserve peace and I won't disrupt that again. As Nathan walked away, emotional relief surged powerfully within me. Conflict resolved not through reconciliation but decisive closure, empowering me to fully embrace the peace and stability now surrounding my life. Turning toward Daniel, whose supportive presence remained steadfastly reassuring, I felt profound gratitude for his unwavering companionship. Are you all right? Daniel asked gently, stepping close, his hand reaching comfortingly for mine. Better than I expected, I admitted softly, a faint smile emerging. Closure feels good even if it's bittersweet. Daniel smiled warmly, understanding deeply. Closure allows space for something new, something better. In the days that followed, Nathan remained true to his word, granting the distance and peace requested. The emotional weight lifted significantly, allowing me to fully focus on preparing joyfully for the arrival of my child. Daniel and I navigated these preparations together, strengthening our bond further with each shared milestone. One peaceful evening, as we assembled final touches in the nursery, I paused thoughtfully, reflecting quietly on my journey. Nathan's apology, though emotionally challenging, provided necessary resolution, marking definitively the end of lingering emotional conflicts. It allowed closure without bitterness, freeing emotional energy previously trapped in unresolved wounds. I never imagined I could reach this point, I mused softly, emotion evident in my voice. Finding genuine peace after so much pain. Daniel paused thoughtfully, meeting my eyes gently yet firmly. You found peace because you chose yourself and your child, creating a beautiful new reality despite past pain. His words resonated deeply, affirming powerfully the strength and resilience defining my journey. In the comfortable silence that followed, clarity settled fully. I had indeed created something profoundly beautiful, grounded in resilience, love, and unwavering determination. As days continued unfolding steadily toward my baby's arrival, emotional conflicts resolved fully into quiet peace and joyous anticipation. Supported warmly by Daniel and newfound friends, my life blossomed vibrantly, filled with meaning, warmth, and genuine happiness. Standing quietly one evening beneath the familiar oak overlooking the ocean, Daniel gently took my hand, his touch comforting and affirming. I'm proud of you, he murmured softly, sincerity deeply evident. Emotion swelled powerfully within me, gratitude blending seamlessly with love and cautious optimism. You've been a cornerstone in my journey, I responded earnestly, voice soft yet firm. Together we've built something truly remarkable. Daniel squeezed my hand gently, his eyes reflecting warmth, sincerity, and deep affection. And we'll continue building it, stronger every day. In that peaceful moment, overlooking the calm ocean waters reflecting twilight's gentle hues, clarity settled powerfully within me. Nathan's apology, though unable to erase past damage, provided essential closure, facilitating profound emotional freedom and definitive resolution. As the sun dipped slowly below the horizon, casting brilliant shades across the sky, profound peace enveloped me completely. Standing with Daniel, supported warmly by genuine love and unwavering strength, I fully embraced the beautiful new chapter awaiting us, free from past conflict, defined now only by resilient hope, deep joy, and boundless possibilities. My final trimester was filled with moments of quiet reflection and joyous anticipation. Daniel's unwavering presence provided steady reassurance, strengthening our bond daily. Together we prepared meticulously, transforming anticipation into joyful readiness. Each shared moment further cemented our relationship, laying foundations built on mutual respect, genuine affection, and deep trust. One serene morning, bathed softly in gentle sunlight streaming through the inn's windows, I awoke feeling an unfamiliar yet undeniable sense of calm anticipation. A subtle discomfort hinted unmistakably that today marked a pivotal turning point, my child's arrival. Daniel remained by my side, supportive and reassuring, guiding gently through the journey toward parenthood. The coastal community warmly rallied around us, their genuine enthusiasm and heartfelt support creating an atmosphere of joyous celebration and profound belonging. The hours unfolded gently, marked by moments of quiet strength and powerful connection. Eleanor's maternal presence offered comforting reassurance, her experienced guidance invaluable. The emotional landscape of labor became defined by strength, courage, and deep resilience, a testament to the profound transformation my journey had nurtured. Finally, after hours of anticipation, a cry filled the room, piercing gently through the emotional tension. Tears of joy streamed freely down my face, mirrored warmly by Daniel, whose gentle hand clasped mine reassuringly. "It's a girl," Eleanor announced warmly, voice filled with gentle pride and profound emotion. Emma was placed gently into my waiting arms, her tiny form immediately filling my heart with overwhelming love and profound awe. Gazing at her perfect, delicate features, emotional wounds from past betrayal seemed distant, replaced fully by powerful love and joyous gratitude. "She's beautiful," Daniel whispered softly, emotion thickening his voice as he gently brushed a finger over Emma's tiny hand. Holding Emma closely, profound clarity settled deeply within me. Nathan's denial and betrayal, though undeniably painful, had inadvertently set me on a transformative journey, leading toward genuine love, resilience, and profound emotional growth. In Emma, I saw vividly the undeniable beauty that emerged from past pain, the powerful, joyous embodiment of healing and renewal. In the days following Emma's birth, life blossomed vibrantly, filled with precious moments of quiet bonding and joyful discovery. Daniel's constant presence brought profound comfort, his unwavering support deeply reassuring. Together, we navigated the beautiful complexities of new parenthood, each shared experience deepening our bond further. One tranquil afternoon, as Emma slept peacefully nearby, Daniel and I sat quietly together, reflecting gently on the journey that brought us here. "Did you ever imagine this?" Daniel asked softly, his gaze thoughtful yet warm. "No," I admitted quietly, emotion swelling gently within me. "But sometimes life's most beautiful outcomes are entirely unexpected." Daniel smiled warmly, reaching gently to clasp my hand reassuringly. "You created beauty from pain, strength from betrayal. I'm so proud to be part of this journey with you." His words resonated deeply, affirming powerfully the profound emotional transformation that defined my journey. In that peaceful moment, profound gratitude blended seamlessly with love, resilience, and cautious optimism for the future we were building. Weeks turned gently into months, each day filled with precious moments of joy and growth. The coastal community became an extended family, their genuine support and heartfelt enthusiasm nurturing our blossoming family deeply. Emma thrived beautifully, her laughter and curiosity bringing endless joy, filling our lives richly with meaning and warmth. As Emma's first birthday approached, Daniel planned a gentle celebration, inviting close friends who had become cherished parts of our lives. The day unfolded beautifully, filled warmly with laughter, heartfelt well wishes, and joyous reflection. Standing quietly at the edge of the gathering, Daniel gently took my hand, guiding me toward our favorite spot overlooking the ocean. Beneath the familiar oak tree, with twilight painting gentle hues across the sky, Daniel turned tenderly toward me, his eyes filled with profound sincerity. "This journey has been incredible," he began softly, voice thick with emotion. "I've watched you transform pain into strength, betrayal into resilience. I've fallen deeply in love with the remarkable woman you've become." Emotion swelled powerfully within me, tears blurring my vision softly as I listened carefully. "I want us to build this life together forever," Daniel continued earnestly, dropping gently onto one knee, holding a delicate ring carefully between his fingers. "Will you marry me?" Overwhelmed by profound emotion, joy mingling seamlessly with gratitude and deep love, I nodded gently yet decisively. "Yes," I whispered softly, voice thick with joyous tears. "Yes, Daniel." He slipped the ring gently onto my finger, rising slowly to envelop me warmly in his embrace. Standing together beneath twilight's gentle glow, profound clarity enveloped me completely. The painful betrayal from Nathan had inadvertently guided me toward this beautiful moment, surrounded by genuine love, profound joy, and boundless hope. Months later, our intimate ceremony unfolded beautifully beneath the same sprawling oak tree, witnessed warmly by the community who had supported our journey profoundly. As we exchanged heartfelt vows, surrounded by friends who had become cherished family, profound happiness enveloped us completely. Emma, dressed sweetly in delicate white, giggled softly nearby, a living testament to the resilience and beauty emerging powerfully from past pain. Daniel clasped my hand gently yet firmly, his eyes reflecting profound sincerity, warmth, and unwavering commitment. You've taught me strength, resilience, and the true meaning of love, Daniel murmured softly, voice filled gently with profound emotion. I promise to walk beside you always, building our beautiful life together, day by day. Emotion thickened powerfully within me, love blending seamlessly with gratitude, resilience, and profound hope. Our journey taught me that healing is not linear, but the destination is profoundly beautiful, I responded softly, voice sincere yet steady. With you I found genuine love, profound strength, and unwavering joy. I promise to cherish and nurture our beautiful life always. As twilight gently enveloped our quiet gathering, profound clarity settled fully within me. Past betrayals, though undeniably painful, had forged resilience, profound emotional growth, and genuine happiness. Surrounded warmly by love, strengthened powerfully by resilience, our future stretched boundlessly before us, filled richly with hope, joy, and profound emotional fulfillment. Holding Daniel's hand firmly yet gently, surrounded warmly by the genuine love of family and friends, I embraced fully the final resolution of my emotional journey, defined beautifully by strength, resilience, and unwavering love. Thank you.